Okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. It is June 9th, Monday, and we just got home from an appointment, which I don't think I've said anything on here about it yet because it kind of happened fast. Again, another whirlwind, another adventure in this whole story. And so that's what I want to explain and update you guys on right now. But I want to like find a comfy spot to just put you down, have a quick chat, and then I gotta go to work. Okay, how did this even come about? My mom so graciously and kindly went to the open house of a fertility clinic by her. This fertility clinic was offering like a bunch of free resources. I think they were having like a raffle for like a free consultation, a free IVF cycle, and like offering a tour of the clinic. And so my mom and my dad went to this open house. My mom like FaceTimed me when they did the tour, and I got to meet some of the staff, and then she ended up mailing me all the like resources and little swag that they gave out at the open house, which, yes, very, very thoughtful, very, very sweet. Constantly thankful for my mother, you know, trying to do her part in all this, because yeah, it is such a lonely road and still is. But when you have people who just want to help, even if it's just by praying or by doing or giving advice, like all of it is still greatly, greatly appreciated. But they purposely got there early, I think, so that they could enter in Alex and I's name to win a free consultation. And we did. We won a free consultation. And at this point, because of everything we've gone through and all the testing and things that we have done, like maybe it would be good to get, at this point, like a third opinion, especially with all the newer information that we have now. So they called me just last week and spoke to a really, really nice girl named Hannah, one of the only like names I actually like have remembered out of all the medical professionals I've spoken to in these past 3 years. Because what I'm finding, and that's one of the things I want to get to in this video, is that not every doctor and nurse and staff member and receptionist are friendly. And especially with this topic of infertility, like I would just naturally expect for these doctors and medical people to be a little more sensitive, to be a little more considerate. Like I had higher standards for them than I do my primary care or my OBGYN that I only see, you know, once a year. But that's just people for you, and I'm constantly reminded after all these appointments that like at the end of the day, we're still just dealing with humans. And like the reality is they don't know what I'm going through. They haven't been in my shoes. Hopefully they don't ever have to be in my shoes, so they don't actually like get it, you know? But still, it's just my brain is like, it's common sense to just like put a smile on when you're talking to someone. Like no matter what type of doctor you are, you know, like whatever. I could go down that rabbit hole, but I'll get back to that. Let's just put a pin in that really quick. So I spoke to Hannah and they had tons of availability, which is also like unheard of, and so that was exciting. And so I'm literally like, just give me like the soonest available, but also I'm off on Fridays, so if it can line up on a Friday, that would be preferred, because I've been having to miss more work than I planned and like arrive late or leave early because of appointments and all this last minute stuff that's happening, which I'm also constantly thankful for my job, that it is the way it is and it has that flexibility, and that the people I work for are very, very understanding and supportive. But it still doesn't make it like, it doesn't make me feel any better about missing work, you know? Like at the end of the day, my journey is impacting others, and it's just like, that's one of the frustrating elements that you just can't control. Anyways, these are also just like very jumbled, very tangled, fresh thoughts, because like I said, we just got home from an appointment, which like triggered all these other thoughts, and just like it's making me just go off on all these tangents right now as it comes to my head. So I still definitely need to do my own processing later. And we had plans later tonight, but Alex and I both agreed to just cancel those, because him and I both just really need some processing time right now, and also just like some chill, like just like mind-numbing time tonight. That's annoying too, that I'm having to cancel on friends that we've had these plans for several weeks now. And it's like, again, there goes my journey impacting someone else. Whew. Okay, get to the point. The point is, they scheduled my free consultation. Let's say it was like June 20th or something. It was a Friday. So I'm like, great, let's take it. That's your first Friday available. So I was talking to Alex later that day, and I was kind of like, I mean, if my job's okay with it and your job's okay with it, do we have to wait the 3 weeks just for this consultation? Like, I know I don't have to worry about it lining up with my cycle. Like, if we don't have to wait for this, let's just jump on it. Because in this whole season of waiting, where there's so many other things you have to wait on, like, waiting is the last thing you want to do sometimes. So I called them back the next day, and I was like, actually, what's your next availability? Like, literally, do you have something tomorrow? Do you have something next week? And she was like, okay, how's Monday? And I'm like, yes, let's take the appointment, and then I'll figure everything else out later. So that's where we just got back from. It's called Brown Fertility Clinic. It's in Tampa. They have a bunch of clinics, I think, around the whole state of Florida. And the open house that my mom went to was their Winter Garden, like, Orlando location. And so we have a rental property in St. Pete, which is maybe like 20-30 minutes away from the Tampa location. So over the weekend, I just kind of had this idea of like, again, let's make it an adventure. And why don't we go stay at our rental the night before? So we got to have a little night in St. Pete. So we completed our consultation, which ended up being, I think, like an hour-ish. And yeah, at this point, we're not really learning anything new, which I guess is a good thing. Like, it still comes back to, are we gonna do IVF? Do I have endometriosis? Could that be a potential roadblock? I still have a low egg count. What does that mean? So do I wanna do IVF now while my eggs are good and I'm younger, or do I wanna do it later in life if we still wanna try naturally? Like, those are still the same questions we have and same decisions we have to make. So unfortunately, there was no like crazy clarity or like a big sign that I got in this consultation, which is what I was hoping for and was trying to be expectant for. But at the end of the day, it was just another consultation that was kind of average and just left me feeling disappointed again. But I just wanted to capture this update because it's another part of our story. So yeah, I cried the second we got in the car. Basically sat in silence the whole drive home. I mean, this is like stuff I'm used to, but things that you guys aren't seeing. That's just another aspect of this whole journey. Now Alex and I both have to go to work and just like put on these masks per se. As much as like him and I are both just feeling drained and we just want to take a nap. Things have to get done. Life is still going on, which I know I talk about a lot, but like, it's just so true. Like, and it never gets old. Like, you still gotta be an adult. You still gotta live your life. So it's just a matter of me trying to do that as authentically as possible while still allowing myself these moments of feeling things and talking things through, but then also like challenging myself to be a big girl and like still get stuff done and not let this really impact everything in my life. Because as I said earlier, it's already impacting the people around me. So it's like, if I can prevent it from impacting just one more thing in my life, if there's still one more thing I can kind of keep pure and separate from all this infertility crap, like, I'm gonna hold on to that. So yeah, Alex and I are feeling a little discouraged. I also feel like I've never been this disappointed, or I've never been as let down by doctors before as I have with all this. And it just comes down to their bedside manner. And unfortunately, the doctor we met with today, even though my mom hyped up the whole clinic and we were feeling great about it and it was free and like we stayed in St. Pete and like all good vibes, right, leading up to this appointment. And my prayer has always just been like, when we're going into anything fertility related, I'm like, Lord, just like let this be a sign, bring some clarity. Like, I'm expecting this from God because I know he can do it. I'm like, out of everything we've gone through, like, just make something work. Make something just feel right to let us know we're like on the right path. Like, just a little glimmer of hope. And I definitely felt that after Jacksonville, so I don't want to discredit that. But it's like, that's one experience out of all these other experiences that I've had in the past 3 years. A lot of these doctors and nurses and receptionists, they're just not the warmest, most understanding, considerate people that I would hope and like desperately want and need in a season like this. Like, they don't know that one wrong word or one like misstep in a conversation is gonna like break me. The doctor didn't even introduce himself. Like, literally, that's what my brain is fixating on. Like, we walk into his office and I'm the one saying hello. Like, I'm the one greeting him. He didn't initiate that. It automatically makes me feel like you don't want to be here, or you don't care, or you're not invested in me. And if I don't feel that, then why would I trust you with my future child? Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's why I feel like professionals in the like medical realm specifically, and even more so specifically in the fertility realm, like, that's why your bedside manner, your behavior, your attitude, your facial expressions, your body language, it matters. Like, we're talking about my body here. We're talking about me trusting you to make me a mother. Like, that is huge. Obviously, it's God through them. But at the end of the day, I still have to pick one of these humans, one of these clinics to go with. I just want someone to hold my hand and say it's gonna be okay. Like, I just want someone to like sit with. And that's what I would expect from all these consultations and appointments, like, because it is such a sensitive, heavy topic. But then when you don't get that, you're obviously let down. I did have that very positive experience in Jacksonville, so I'm really trying to remind myself of that in moments like right now. But like I said, this is still very fresh. Like, the appointment was just like 2 hours ago. Okay, I'm literally sitting here editing my next video, taking a little break from work, and I'm realizing that this rant you all are seeing in the very heat of the moment, I kind of leave out some details because I'm watching it back and I'm like, do I sound crazy? Like, I'm fixating on one detail and it probably sounds super dramatic. But I can tell you that my husband can attest for this, and he agreed when we walked out of that consultation that that doctor wasn't the friendliest or the warmest. And now that it's been several days since this appointment, I've been able to process and really analyze my feelings and my thoughts from this appointment and why I really felt the way I did and why I felt so strongly. But what I was getting at with recapping this experience for you guys is, one, to document, and two, is to shed light on this side of our fertility journey. But the whole point is, since he didn't introduce himself, I felt like I was talking to a stranger the whole time. When the assistant or the nurse practitioner or whoever she was walked us back to his office, she opened the door, his back was to us. So right off the bat, I'm like, uh-oh, we're like intruding. We're not supposed to be here. So my guard's up, right? And then she kind of like motions us to go in, but I don't remember her really saying anything clear. Like, so then that in itself made me feel like, okay, are we wanted here? Like, where do we go? This is a new clinic. This is a new office. These are new people. Like, I don't know where to sit. I don't know your protocol. And so like, the only thing I can really compare it to is like, if you're inviting someone over to your house, like, you're the host, right? Like, they're the guest. So this is new territory to them. So you need to open the door. You need to greet them. You need to make them feel comfortable. You need to invite them in. Obviously, you invited them over to your house, so they know they're eventually going to come in your house. But still, like, it's just these little things that are all a part of the process that you think would be common sense, but I guess not. But like, you need to invite someone in. You need to tell them, oh, take your shoes off at the door, or hey, can I get you anything to make you more comfortable? Like, you kind of need to control that situation until they're more familiar, until they get comfortable. Then like, okay, maybe next time they come over to your house, the expectations are already set. Now you guys can kind of skip those little formalities. But this was our first time meeting this person. Like, I don't know if we're supposed to sit on the chairs or if we're supposed to sit on the couch that he has against the wall. Like, and then we're sitting down and he still is not introducing himself. And how am I supposed to talk to you about a very sensitive subject and share really intimate personal details about my body, about these past 3 years, like when I don't even know who you are. You know what I mean? So it's just like all those little things add up to where I just felt so uncomfortable during those first minutes of the appointment where it mattered the most, I feel like. First impressions are huge, and because time is of the essence, like every minute counts in these appointments with these doctors. So it just matters more and holds more weight, I guess. But we got through it. And like I said, it's been several days since. And I did call and request to speak to the manager because I was still just feeling so upset about it. And I just did not want someone else to go through this experience. And if I can just help one person, like, then it's worth it. And I will risk having an awkward, uncomfortable conversation with a manager if it means saving someone else from having a similar experience. So I spoke to the clinic manager, and I cried, of course, and I gave her all the details, and she reassured me and affirmed me and encouraged me, and just like, that's the experience I wanted. You know, she made me feel so seen and validated. She reassured me that she is going to make sure this person knows to not let this happen again. And she's not going to use my name, and she's not going to like single him out, but she's going to make sure everyone gets a little refresher on the protocol, which is great, right? It's constructive criticism. But anyways, I'm gonna go and get back to the video. And the only reason why my expectations are still high after all this constant disappointment is because my faith is not in these clinics. It's in God. Like, I'm trusting Him. So I'm expecting Him to do this big work. I'm expecting His presence to be in that room. I'm expecting Him to speak through these doctors. I'm expecting it to be peaceful and comforting because the Lord is there. And so when that doesn't happen, it's like, now I'm disappointed at God. Like, out of everything I'm praying for this whole time, like, could you at least answer that? Could you at least just give me a nice receptionist? Like, and I know this is such a like niche random thing, I don't know, but I just had to like vent about it because at least right now in this moment while my emotions are high and like everything is still fresh, I just feel like compelled to like, if there's any doctors or like anyone watching this that's in that field, whether it's fertility related or not, like, you don't know what your patients are walking through, and literally just a handshake could change everything. And I'm not saying this to put all this pressure on these doctors or employees or whatever, but it's like, just be considerate. And it's like a challenge to myself too. Like, you don't have to hold one of these positions to like make a lasting impact on someone. Like, just us as humans when you're out and about, whether it's your cashier or it's your boss or it's a close friend or it's your parent, like, your words, your energy, like, it all matters. My gosh, it's just so annoying and so frustrating because I feel like what I'm asking for is not much, but it makes me feel like it's a lot when it's time and time again. It's not like they're doing harm like physically and it's this whole thing, and call me dramatic. But like I said, the fact that this doctor today didn't even introduce himself from the beginning, that basically established an environment of like, I already have my guard up. I already have my guard up, and I can't have my guard up when we're talking about fertility. I need to let you in. I need to be open to God's plan and your plan. Like, and then we're talking, and now I'm like getting to know him a little more, and like I'm seeing how knowledgeable he is about this stuff. And so, okay, maybe my trust is starting to build and like I'm starting to listen a little bit, but why did we have to go through all that? You know, we could have started out strong if you freaking just shook my hand and said hello. But like, that's my reality right now, and I just never realized I would have such a strong, passionate opinion about medical professionals. So that's mainly the emotions I'm feeling today, is just sad over these people who are constantly disappointing me. I'm already disappointed, right? The season of life that I'm in is already a disappointment. Like, just naturally, it is what it is. So that when these people could just make it like an ounce better, like, they don't. And like I said, a smile can go a long way. Like, it can literally make or break my mood, my day, my moment, my decision. And like, we canceled our plans because Alex and I are both feeling defeated after the appointment. Like, we drove home in silence. Like, I'm not saying it's all this clinic's fault, but it's like, this day could have gone so much differently. If he just shook my hand. Oh my gosh, I sound so ridiculous. But can anyone relate? This is why I need to process later tonight. I just need to breathe. I need to go to work. Okay, I think I'm good now. I'm gonna go to work now and just try to not let my blood continue to boil. And I'm not looking forward to calling my mom later with this update and disappointing her, because she was very, very excited about this clinic. So sorry, Mom. I'm gonna call you on my way to work and we'll see how that phone call goes. Okay, now I'm gonna go. Bye.